Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Well, this time it's not so old. And forgive my voice, I'm still fighting off a cold. So my voice sounds huskier. Okay. This time around, I want to look at this graphic novel from Marvel Comics, The Fantastic Four, Full Circle. Written and drawn and colored by the great Alex Ross. Of course, this is a hardback graphic novel from 2022 with some great work in it. And as you can see, this is not my own personal copy. This is a library copy. Because as I've said before, and I want to say again, you can, being a comic fan and reader, you do not necessarily have to buy your own comics, because most libraries have a wide variety of comics and graphic novels, graphic albums, and some even carry the floppy comics. You just don't have necessarily as wide a selection, but oftentimes you can get stuff that you can't find at the stores. At least anymore. So this is good. And so, patronize your public library. And of course, they seem to carry mostly, or at least a lot of the manga as well. And this is from the Denver Public Library. Okay, this is the back. Just talking about it. It's hardback. I don't know if they produced a soft cover version of this or not. I've only seen it in hardback. But it has some great Alex Ross. And instead of the full painting stuff that we're used to seeing from Alex Ross, this is line drawing, and then he went in and did the coloring. It was a magnificent work on the coloring. So, inside the front cover, or the dust jacket, is a brief recap of the origin of the Fantastic Four. So, Abrams Comic Arts, New York. Of course, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby from 1961. And this is almost like reading a Lee Kirby Fantastic Four story. It just has that kind of feeling. It's because it harkens back to so much of that period. Because here we see outside this spooky figure just outside the Baxter Building. So, Ben is up in the middle of the night getting him a midnight snack. And good time goes to sit down, and then Johnny surprises him, and he smushes his big old Dagwood sandwich all over himself. Then they see, while they're joking around, see the figure. And then they get the intruder alert signal. Everyone's out and about. And that figure collapses. I got him. They take him into the lab. He looks in. Wait a minute, this guy looks familiar. You can see this guy. And it turns out here is our first flashback to the Lee Kirby era. This is a fella said, "Hey, this is the guy who goes back to the Lee Kirby story when this guy had basically snatched Ben and imitated his appearance and powers, and took his place in the Fantastic Four. Went with Reed and the first trip into the negative zone, the negative antimatter universe. and wound up sacrificing himself to save Reed, because his short time as Ben made him more. What am I trying to say? More of a good person, because he wasn't exactly a villain. But so this is the guy, and then stuff starts breaking. Oh, and the things, whatever is busting out of this guy's body. Ooh, holy cow! It's like this guy's body is a portal. Intruder alert! Intruder alert! And Sue is using her force field. Johnny's searing these little weird nega energy things with his flames. Oh, it's really nice, incredibly nice work here. His page layout's very, very dynamic, interesting page layouts. A lot of sometimes breaking the panel borders and stuff you see here, and he did a great job on all of this. Then it's all fight. Trying to, these buggy nega energy things, can tell that they're from the negative zone. Then Reed engages the countermeasures and zaps all the negative things, and they manage to cover up the portal through the body here. You can see. Now, Alex Ross had some great draftsmanship here, and his design work for the interiors and later other stuff later, just in case I don't get a chance to mention it, is very, very reminiscent of Kirby's design. And then they even have all the little Herbie robots. Let's see if you can see them here. And helping cleaning up the place after that. And Alex Ross is known for using sometimes live models or photo reference of live models and characters, actors, and the like for the faces. And I don't know this for sure. This is just what it looks to me like. Like Johnny was modeled after a very young Buster Crabbe. You know, Buster Crabbe, who played Tarzan before Johnny Weissmuller, and Buster, Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, and all those others. And his version of Sue Richards, I should say now, is very reminiscent. Makes me think of Irish McCullough from the Sheena TV series of the 50s. I don't know for sure, but that's what it makes me think of. Then say, all this stuff, we have to go into the negative zone, and there we have a little recap of their encounters with Annihilus from the negative zone and stuff before. So I'm not sure if Annihilus has anything to do with this or not. He gets his special costumes, special suits that they have to wear. And normally, previously, when they'd go into the negative zone, they'd have a special vest or harness that they would wear. It would protect them from the negative zone. and this is neat because it has kind of an iridescent look to it, and to these new suits, and they'll do it. And then, of course, still shorts for me, huh? It doesn't cover his body, just his shorts for the thing. And it's some really, I mean, it's just magnificent stuff. And this is definitely Kirby style design on these ships. And said, we're not going to take a ship. Nope, not going to take a ship. And then goes into the negative zone through zoom through the portals and the intermediate. And this is where Kirby used to do a lot of collage stuff. So it has double page spread here, and this looks like the collage stuff, but it's all painted. It's not really collage. It's all painted. But it looks just like, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it was taken directly from a Kirby collage. And so together, and they're don't know where they're popping in, and it turns in. They're afraid of this. Right in Annihilus headquarters. Oh, and there we see they're in the. Sue's made them all invisible, and they're clear in the background here. And we get an extreme close-up of Annihilus while he's eating, and he's eating the little crittery things that had popped into their universe through that portal. So and I said, "Oh, let's go clobber him." Ben says, "But no, we don't want to have anything to do with Annihilus unless we have to. We're don't have any conflict with them." And then they're attacked again by those critters, and then they say, "Ah, I don't know who that is, but will my nightmare do so? Let's get to the bottom of this Ridley Scott nightmare." It's like something out of Aliens. And so here, this is the real mess. Look at that spread. Look, can you see going through the glare on that double page spread? It's so big, and the colors, and just so magnificent. And this is where they get their real menace, the Nega Man, and he captures the Fantastic Four, and they're lights out. The whole page is completely black, and then it gradually fades in as the guy's talking. And this image of the Nega Man looks like it was taken from a specific individual too. It looks familiar, but I cannot place it, so I don't know. And it's great visual storytelling. It is just a wonder to look at and read, and the time it must have taken to draw all of this stuff. And the laughter makes me think of the Joker. And the Nega Man. And Reed deduces this is because it says it's some person who was caught in the negative zone, and this is how he was transformed. When actually Reed deduces that he had died, and this is just like the elemental, the essence of that person's mind coalesced into this being, which is controlling them, and they break through and get away. And Nyla says, "What is this infernal disturbance?" And Ben wants to go, "Let's clobber him." And I said, "No, Ben, we want to stay away." And they keep away from Annihilus because they don't want to get involved with him if they don't have to, because he's not directly involved with all this stuff. And they break out, and there they are near the planet that they had been to before, which turns out to be this is when he gives a realization to this being, and it just kind of disintegrates over his true essence. And they're over the planet, which is this negative zone's equivalent of Earth. But they've never been to it before. And they've got this ring of debris, which is a constant antimatter and matter in juxtaposition and destruction. So here they are, and they're descending to the planet. They've got to go check something out. Ben doesn't want to go, but Heather's got to talk him into it. Oh, okay. So they're going down there. Has Sue put a force field around them. Go through for the entry into the atmosphere, and Johnny to absorb the heat from the friction. And here, this is great stuff. This is great stuff. And I'm just giving a real brief. And, look at that! Look at all that! And then here, when they finally get down in there, and they're almost to the surface, and they're being saved by their powers, respective powers, and you can see this is the cityscape we're seeing from the bird's eye view, but it's very much a Kirby-like design of a futuristic type city. They get down there, and then they're confronted by, they think they're intruders. They're confronted by, looks like soldiers or something. And Ben grabs one of the ships and is about to smash them, and says, "No, they're just defending themselves." Sue puts a force field around them to keep them apart, and they stop Ben from smashing. Then some other characters come out who are almost like equivalents of themselves, and but they're some lingo that of course they don't understand. But one of the figures says, "Wait!" He's in all this armor, which is slightly reminiscent of a Kirby design, and slightly reminiscent of Doctor Doom in a way, and He says he speaks English, and he takes the helmet off and says, "Well, it's that guy again." And it turns out that this is that guy who had swapped with the thing before. But here he is, but doesn't have an actual body. This is like basically his essence, his life and his essence, energy. His body was he died, and it was the shell of his body that the Nega Man used to make the portal into the positive universe. And he apologizes for it and said, but this has made him a good man. He is here and helps with these other characters who are also basically fugitives with powers here. Defend this planet. Look at that. Both of this fella and his name is Ricardo Jones. Oh, Rick Jones. And look at that profile of Ben. Oh, that's so cool. And so he has to exist inside that armor. That's all that's keeping him together. And with his own scientific genius added to theirs as what's protecting the planet from all this intrusion, and that's their whole purpose. Oh, look at the great artwork, the way he does it. And he said, have a way that might be able to get you home. And said, well, and so Reed wants to do something for him, and he takes, of course, his unstable molecules and it can. From his suit, which can stretch, so he has Johnny cut off a big hunk of his suit, which then reseals over his own body to give to this fellow, so that he can make a suit, use it to make a containment suit for himself, instead of having to live inside the armor. And you can see the tears, the emotion in that expression. Oh, it's so great. And the colors. So here they are in the inside the laboratory, and said, here we have these things, which is something that this is where what Atuma has and uses to not Atuma, Annihilus, and I think was his name Blastar, have for their. They said this technology is familiar to them. They can take one of these tubes, cut it up, or put it on each of them as a bracelet, and they can then transport back to their own universe. So that's fine. Then this one guy comes up. He mentions here that this is Earth, because it is Earth from the negative dimension. But one thing is that this civilization has grown out of the civilizations of Mesoamerica, rather than having a basis in Greco-Roman civilization. So it's different. And here we have this character here comes up, probably saying the only English words he can say is, "Thank you for the gift of my friend," because no one else speaks English. But I look at this fella. I don't know if you can see it here, and I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. But this, especially in that profile right there, this looks like this character was based on, visually based on the Native American actor Wes Studi, who, if you don't know his name, you've undoubtedly seen him. And he played, he was in Last of the Mohicans, was his biggest role. So here they go, zoom, and they are back home. Poof, it's like transporter. Go see the kids. All this takes place within a couple hours. They get back in there. Ben goes and fixes himself another sandwich, and then Reed is doing some ruminating. But everything's a-okay, and it's not worth trying to say about that. But that's a great book. That is a really great book. If you can find it in your library, unless you have a copy yourself, because the cover price was like $25, and so if you don't want to invest that much, but you just want to read it like me, it is really a great read, and I do encourage you to read it if you haven't. It's a lot of fun. Some great artwork by Alex Ross. He did a great job writing this, I think. So that's all I've got for you this time. Please like, share, and subscribe. And do leave comments what you think of Alex Ross's Fantastic Four Full Circle. Ooh. Leave your comments down below. And remember, comics are art.